9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
What up, y'all? What up? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad, and you're here for WWT Live. We have so much to talk about, and I am not alone. The PR princess herself doing double duty today. Courtney Rice is in the building.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. Double duty today, but happy to be here with everybody here on WWT.
Yep. And then make sure, and I know you guys have been doing it, but definitely like and subscribe. Hit all those things on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. All that really means a lot to us because there's so many things that we're going to be doing for the summer. So make sure you definitely do that. Shout out to Eric and Special Nobodies in the chat. So much to talk about, but let's talk about Liv.
Mm-hmm.
Am I buffering? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because I was like, it's on me. I was like, my internet's good.
What's going on? It was doing well. I have to call it Verizon. But Liv Morgan, she joins the cast of Band Lieutenant in Tokyo. So that seems to be what she's been filming. They made reference to it at Raw. So one, how do you think this is going to play out? I mean, obviously she's there filming. How do you think this is going to play out as far as the tag team match?
That's going to be interesting with Liv and Raquel, because I know Raquel says she misses Liv on TV and Dom. I don't know why, but for some odd reason, I feel like she's going to turn on Dom for some odd reason. And with Liv and Raquel, this is going to be very interesting because the women's tag team division, because of the releases, they have to scramble and shuffle it around a little bit. Right. So it's pretty much who's going to be the next contenders. And also, we still don't know when the WWE draft is going to happen. But we shall see. And yes, Boza, Dominic's soul, he could not tell a Pacific between a time zone.
That was so funny. It was so funny. It's like, wait, how does he? I mean, I guess that's not a prerequisite to be champion, but how do you get away with I
don't know, but JD was the expert.
Definitely. So do you think that this is actually, when Liv comes back, do you think that's going to be the breakup of Judgment Day, or do you think it's going to implode while she's away?
I feel like it's going to implode when she comes back, because even though she's away from the movie, I feel like it's going to implode when she comes back, because we already saw what happened with Finn in his match against AJ Styles. It's just a matter of a ticking time bomb on when is that supposed to happen, because it looks like Finn's trying to break away from the Judgment Day. They've been miscommunications with JD and Carlito and Dom. And even though Dom's the Intercontinental Champion, he does have a few targets on his back. And also, and we didn't even touch on this on Monday, his next opponent, because I kept thinking AJ Styles could be his next opponent.
So a little bit about the film. So Bad Lieutenant in Tokyo. So the movie's based off of a 1992 neo-noir crime film, Bad Lieutenant, which is directed by Abel Ferreira. So it's going to be a spinoff. 2009, it starred Nicolas Cage for Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. So we'll see if it's going to go straight to, I know they used to say straight to DVD, but that's not even a bad thing anymore. So straight to like Netflix or Hulu or whatever.
But it is a good opportunity for Liv. I'm very, very happy. She is getting a lot of movie opportunities. Did she freeze? I think Boss Lady just froze.
I might have to restart my internet. So you might have to take it for a little bit, Courtney, because it's going to show me like 1 bar, and I don't know why.
That's
I
weird.
have no idea why. Oh, it's going up to 2 now. Maybe we're good. I don't know what's sent his bad internet to me, because it's been well.
Yeah,
for so long.
just plain said for your
Just
internet.
yeah, just blame said for everything. But let's talk a little bit about Gail Kim with her special guest, her being special guest referee for NWA's World Women's Championship match. This is gonna be really interesting because obviously Natty's in it. Um, I don't did she? I feel was she there when Natty was there?
Gail,
Yeah, or is
I
it a little
want to say
before?
probably in a recent run with WWE when she had her run, but I'm trying to
Yeah,
think.
I don't think Natty was there at that particular
No,
time.
not that particular.
But really great for Gail. I mean, obviously she had a lot of work with TNA. No longer there with them anymore. But how do you think this is going to be played out with her being a special guest referee?
This is actually the one I am gonna miss this weekend because it is in Philadelphia. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy for this match because NWA has a very rich history, and also with Gail Kim, it's definitely being a pioneer that she one of a few for women's wrestling, and also with the fact it does help after she got released from TNA. This is
Right.
also a really great opportunity for her to really step in the referee side, and of course referee one of the most talked about matches in NWA this weekend in the Crockett Cup. She understands the history for it, so this is definitely going to be a very gruesome and also bloody match because Natty and Kenzie have been going at each other blows on social.
Mm-hmm.
And I could imagine somebody is going to provoke Gail with the fact she's a referee.
So do you, because I think we did talk, I think it was the two of us that we talked about this before. So it's Kenzie Page, she's the NWA champion versus Natalia. And I can't remember who you picked because we did talk about this match. And I think I said that, there's going to be some shenanigans. So given the fact now that Gail Kim is the special guest referee, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen now?
I'm still going with my pick. I'm picking the boat to win. She needs some.
Really?
She needs the woman needs some gold, and plus, it's time to open that forbidden door. It is time. I would not mind seeing a WWE star raise an NWA belt. And also, given the fact they understand the history for it, I mean, we've seen it with NXT and TNA, something we probably have not seen if it was back in 2003.
Right.
But here we are today. And I would not mind seeing that forbidden door go unopened with Natty being champion. And plus, it'll be great being an ambassador because Natty's already an ambassador. She's helped out most of the women in that division. And also, it does give a lot more eyes if people are not familiar with the history and the importance of NWA.
Okay. Because what if Kenzie wins, but then Gail is now entered into the mix?
Oh man, it's gonna be very interesting if she's entered in the mix. I would not be shocked if there was a match between Kenzie and Gail Kim.
Right.
At the next important event at NWA.
Given the fact that Gail is not tied to a company right now.
That is true. She's not tied to it. So I would not be shocked if she did get a match in NWA.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So you guys definitely need to check that out. I'm definitely be watching. I think I can't remember if we did talk about the fact that obviously the way the WWE does things, this Natalia being there is by no accident, and they're fully aware what's going on, which leads they already have TNA. So, but I think I saw Billy Corgan today. I think through social media saying that NWA is not for sale. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like that was a thing that I saw.
I have to look because I follow him on socials because I know he did say something about the Crockett Cup. I just haven't seen his latest post yet.
Benjamin saying, "What if Natty wins and the defense defends the belt at Evolution?" Oh, and they did make some. There was some little bit of talk with Evolution. Maybe we can get to that as far as some new developments as far as big stars. Still, no like official announcement, which makes me, I guess it's WWE. You can release stuff whenever you want, but given the fact that they roll out, other shows, a year or 6 to 8 months in advance, and this one's supposed to be in 2 months. Is just like, all right. But there has been a update as far as Evolution 2. There's going to be some big names on there, but they're just teasing. It's not really giving you like okay, this is what's happening. This is going to be here. Any of that. It's just more like it's happening, guys.
It's just right there. I mean, I was very puzzled with it because for Evolution, I thought at least for July, because it's like you're doing it the same weekend as All in Texas, and also the fact the first time they did it, it was ahead of time. It was a promotional. They did it ahead, but I don't want to say this as a fan, but I'm looking at this from like branding and media wise. I think they kind of did this as like a satellite pay-per-view to see how people react to it. But with the fact we have women's wrestling is so hot right now in WWE, NXT, then you throw in the ID and Evolve, it is a good opportunity. But question is, how is it going to be planned? Especially with the fact on how they're trying to do this. Like, what is it going to be? How is the second time going to be a lot more better? Because of course you have the women's mid cards. That should be a given. They should be defended at Evolution. The Intercontinental in the United States, that should be a given. Obviously, the tag team titles should be defended. I wouldn't mind seeing NXT make a splash on the NXT women's title or women's North American title, but it's really interesting that they're doing it this late.
Yeah, it is. So because they said, so according to PW Insider, reported that there has been internal WWE talk about potential staging Evolution 2 during the summer of 2025 in Atlanta. The report suggested that this could be Atlanta double shot with the all women's PLE possibly running the same weekend as WWE's Saturday night's main event taping in the city, specifically around the weekend of July 12th. And then, just like you're saying, interesting, these reported dates were also noted that coincide with AEW's All In that weekend. So, still not much of an update.
Yeah, it's really not much because it's pretty much of a teaser. And also, you did mention that it's Saturday night main event, so it's like, are you going to use some of your women for Saturday night's main event? That's the question there,
right? Yeah, it's underwhelming, and it just doesn't seem it doesn't seem like, I don't know. Hopefully they'll surprise us. I'll just leave it at that. So. Maybe it's like, oh, you thought you guys knew, but no, that's not it. Bosa said, isn't All in Texas that afternoon? Yes. Yeah, but it's still kind of coincide. You can't be in two places at once. So
it's that afternoon, but later in the night, it's supposed to be Saturday night's main event later in that evening.
Yeah, so you can't be in Atlanta and Texas. And then how are you supposed to watch? I mean, there's lots of events that happen the same time all the time, but I feel like I would want to see both of them.
Yeah.
So AEW news. AEW announces their partnership with, how do you pronounce this company? ID Ring?
Yes, something like that.
The logo will be featured in the ring and on TV. So from a PR perspective, I mean, it seems like they're going the way of WWE. So do you think this is a way for them to, well, obviously they're sponsoring the ring, so they're getting some money. So do you think things are going to change now? Maybe TK is not going to be using as much of his money and trying to get more sponsors involved?
I actually read a little bit about this drink because I'm looking at it. ID Ring encourages consumers to taste the science as they bring together a proprietary blend to the AEW audience and offers a stimulant-free formula designed to enhance mental alertness, focus, and energy level. I actually do like they are diving into brand, because that's something they have done before, but I'm happy they are diving into brand opportunities, and hopefully Tony's a lot more smart that he doesn't have to use up all of his money. But also it does give a lot of eyes, especially if it's unknown brands.
Right.
this could be a really good opportunity to give eyeballs to the audience, because if they're sponsoring AEW, this could be like, well, I never watched wrestling before, and also I think it would be good activation, and especially using some people from your roster that actually do like the journey. That could also create a buzz as well. Like, I don't know I mean, there are plenty of stars from AEW you could get. You could get like Tony, you could get Swerve, you could get Will Ospreay, you can get Harley Cameron, a few other stars. I mean, you could get Orange Cassidy to do the promo, but there are so many creative avenues that could do it. But I'm just very curious on how they're going to execute it, and also for social purposes in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's not a new concept as far as having different companies and stuff like that. It's just interesting if they're gonna use kind of the blueprint of what like WWE is doing. And also it's not new, like, you know, basketball, you know, they had basketball players had stuff on their jerseys. They've been doing it in boxing for a long time. So yeah, I feel like if they do this right and that company gets a return on their investment, that might really bring in bigger companies. And you know, we'll see. I don't know what the ratings are as far as the numbers for AEW, but you know, they're hanging in there, and you just kind of ebb and flow with the way TV works. Eric Douglas has a really interesting question. As Black women in the wrestling community, do you think Julia's braids are cultural appropriation? I don't. They're braids.
They're just pretty much braids.
And they don't have her, and and in addition, she's not trying to. I don't know. There's sometimes where you see people who have braids and then they try to like add the culture on top of the braids. That's not what she's doing. And also in a lot of Asian countries, our culture is like, I'll put it to you like this. There's some years ago, they have like a dance hall queen hole situation in Jamaica. And there was a girl from, I think it was Japan, who like won it. Like, you know,
I think Boss Lady froze. Because I was like, is that my internet? Yeah, I think Boss Lady internet froze because she was getting ready to do her stories on it. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, because it looks like she's gonna start her computer because she did have a story. But just to let you know about AEW. And speaking of that, once Boss Lady restarts her computer, we have another person joining the panel, our wonderful councilman, Mr. NXT. How are you today?
Have no fear, your councilman is here. Oh, it is a wonderful Wednesday. Just got out of this ridiculous LA traffic, but glad to be here. It is Wednesday night rice, is what I like to call it. The best part of AEW. Nothing else. Nothing else. Not the matches, commentary, whatever. We come here for Courtney on Wednesdays. Just hope the fake TK knows that. She should be getting a check.
He should. I wish that could be something we could talk about. But well, you were happy to jump on because me and Boss Lady were talking because AEW has a brand partnership, and I hope I say this right, ID Ring. And this actually just reported yesterday, and it's the official productivity drink of AEW, and they will have the premier logo placement in both the ring and broadcast on live television. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on this latest partnership from a brand standpoint, and is this going to help support AEW in the near future?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps. Just everyone else is doing it, so why not hop on the train? Like, and I think also too that just gives more legitimacy to AEW, like especially when you're seeing like a brand is putting money behind your product. That lets you know, okay, like we see something in this. We see that your audience can bring something new to us, bring something new to our product, as well as being able to strengthen yours. So I think that just goes well for AEW. You know, the only thing that could go wrong is picking wrong companies. You know what I'm saying? Like just those that may be morally wrong or going up against something that may could be bad for them. But I'm sure they've thoroughly checked that before. Like Tony Khan is not new to any of this, like, you know, running the Jaguars and stuff like that. So I think it's great. And I think it just, for anybody that's sitting here doubting about, oh, AEW be shut down in the next 5 years. Well, clearly not if brands are writing checks for them. They're clearly doing something.
No, and I think this is a good opportunity for them from branding, especially if it's a drink that not many people are aware of. There's many activations. They could do this. They could get some of their stars to help out with support. As I was telling Boss Lady earlier, they could get Swerve Strickland, Darby Allin, Harley Cameron, Tony Storm, even Mercedes Moné on board. But I'm very happy for them on this and super excited. And since you're here, we might as well talk about NXT last night. Of course, we found out, well, next week we got a concert. We got a concert next week. Joe Hendry and Trick Williams is going to be rapping. Now, given the fact you are Mr. NXT, I just want to get your thoughts on this ahead of on this next week before their match at Battleground.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Very on brand for Joe Hendry. Very on brand for him. I will say that. Trick, however, I'm on the fence about that one. I'm on the fence about that. Because I know he made a good diss record, but performing said raps in front of an audience and the camera is a whole different beast. But if anybody is going to have the confidence to do it, I would guess it would be Trick Williams. But I think I'm on the same page as everybody else is, and that what everyone is thinking is, when do we walk with Elijah again? I hear the concerts, but like, is Elijah coming back for this concert? So like, is there an opener before y'all start? And if so, can y'all be the opener? Then let us walk with Elijah. That's all I want to know. But like I said, I think it's good. It's on brand. And it hypes it up for Battleground. And I think they got a lot more time to be able to work. Well, wait, it's next week, right?
Yeah, next weekend.
I think that's the perfect send-off. Like, no tag matches, no nothing. Like, let it be, like, especially with this being the TNA title on the line, let it be where Joe Hendry shines best. And let's see where the chips fall.
Yeah, I think that would be good, especially because we know Joe Hendry. He's performed many times. Also, I want to get your thoughts on this because, as you know, Miles Bourne is facing off against your client, the ruler, Obeth Femi. I know you've had some mixed feelings about Miles Bourne, but I just want to get your thoughts getting into his match, because is this his first official match that he's getting into, his first world title match?
Oh, that's what you want to talk about.
Yeah, because this is like his first one. And also with the fact, I mean, it looks like there was a little bit of distinction with No Quarter Catch Crew, with Charles trying to go in and Miles is trying to do it. I mean...
we're still on that part.
Yeah, NXT.
Okay. I have to switch gears then, because thought we were talking about the other thing that has been sweeping the internet right now with Miles, which I just find hilarious.
Oh no, I did not know that part. I just knew about.
Oh, y'all ain't seen?
No.
That allegedly Miles Bourne is dating Stephanie McCurry?
No. Oh well. Okay. I didn't think it was official, but
I don't know either. But I've just seen like the IWC in such an uproar. And
why are they in an uproar? Why is it?
That's what I'm trying. Like, why are y'all mad? Like, let's really just take a step back. Do any of you think you really had a chance with her? Like, did you really think that she was gonna answer one of y'all DMs and this spark a whirlwind relationship between you and the NXT Women's Champion? And then for y'all to sit here and bash him, which was funny though too, because now I was like, you know what? We can't say it's just women, because a lot of people were saying he got this shot because he messing with her. And I was like, yo, we now know how women feel. We now know how women feel. Because it is just very funny that he happened to have this picture come out and now he got a title shot. And she's the NXT Women's Champion. But I didn't care about none of that. I think, first of all, it ain't none of our business. I don't think none of y'all need to be worried about it. I don't think none of y'all need to be talking about it. First off, none of them put the picture out. Y'all found it and then just went ahead and blasted their information. So really, shame on y'all. And it's just like, again, that's their business. Let them have that. I am curious, though, how these conversations with them go. I had to get it out. I'm sorry. I just had to get it out.
You said partially.
I'm just saying, just like I would like to be a fly on the wall when they talk to each other. Just how does that work? But if it's happening, let it happen. Stop hating. But for the NXT part, Miles is gonna get dog walked. We already know what's gonna happen. Like, are we really expecting anything else? No quarter catch crew. We get it. You got the NXT title on the line in the picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think that they're gonna want that. They want the confidence of it. You saw what happened to Charlie Dempsey. Charlie Dempsey thought, hey man, I'm the one that should be going for this title. What happened? Dog walked. Tavian Heights didn't even want to get up to accept the challenge. He's like, I don't want no parts of that. On your own, buddy. Even Ren Sinclair looking like, I'm rooting for you to win. I did not say all that. I am rooting for you. But I just think it's dope that Miles Bourne, again, it goes back to like what I said before. Some of these folks that we don't necessarily think is going to get a spotlight on them. And when they do get it, it's great to see. And if you look at it too, it is his time. And I don't mean just like an NXT title shot, but it's like, yo, Charlie Dempsey has had his spotlight with the cup. We've had Tavion Heights have his time. We've seen Ren Sinclair being in the Iron Survivor match and then having title shots to go up against. But we don't get to see Miles Bourne do nothing really outside of tag action. So I feel like it is his turn. And I think it's dope. And I just hope that, well, not even hope, from what I saw last night with the promos, with the match going up against Ethan Page and beating Ethan Page clean, even if he doesn't win, he at least is letting everybody in the back know, hey, I'm a product that you can invest in. I'm a product that you can trust, you can believe in, that can also bring dollars and also bring people in. So I just feel like he is checking off all the boxes he needs to show that he could be a legitimate single star. And what more do we want from our stars that we see on NXT, if not that?
So the question is, when Oba does dog walk him, in Councilman's words, what happens next? Do you think that's when No Quarter Catch Crew will break up, or what do you think is the out? Because I'm now invested to him more since he did the promo for NXT. So I'll get, like, you did that, but now is it like, could somebody else have won and legitimately had something going with Oba that would have propelled them forward? I just don't know what's going to happen once he loses. I mean, he might win, but I don't think any of us see it happening.
Not play, not around.
She said not player.
No, not yet. Not yet.
But if you think about it, unlike the women, the men, a lot of the men on the roster can't afford to take L's right now, especially going up against a champ. Ethan Page cannot take an L right now. Javon Evans cannot take an L, and we know the reign of Obafemi, and that story is not complete yet. So it's like, okay, he's beaten our top ones. He's beaten Trick Willie. He's beaten Javon Evans. He's beaten Ethan Page. Like, he's gone up in triple threats. He's gone in fatal four ways. So it's like, okay, now let's have him get these other people spotlight that aren't normally getting it. Like, even Charlie Dempsey, as much as he dog-walked Charlie Dempsey, none of us found that unbelievable how Charlie Dempsey worked. We was like, yo, we know Charlie will be a future champion. And so now he's doing the same for a lot of these stars that we don't necessarily see the chance to. But I think that was the right move right now to get us to Battleground to whatever our next PLE is going to be. And all it does is, again, like, Miles is in a win-win situation. If you win the championship, if you lose, it's still a win for you because now you're on people's radar. Only thing he need to do, like I told it on the watch along last night, you gonna have to change that character. You got to stop walking out like Randy, because that's gonna come to bite you in the butt. Especially moving up to the main roster, you gonna need to form who Miles Bourne is all the way.
Mhm.
Change the trunks, change your movements. Like, I get it, man. Randy is somebody you definitely mimic after, but that can really come to hurt him in the future, especially if he puts on that battleground, which I think he will.
And did you guys talk about oh wait, never mind. I'm seeing something in the thing.
Can we talk about how we getting Kaylani and Zarya? Part
Next
2.
week. And you're getting your boys OTM back next week.
Mm-hmm.
No, we not.
I thought we were.
They cut a whole promo and stuff.
Against who?
They didn't say who. Not that I know. Not that I know of.
JCU.
Who was that?
Chase Matthews boys. I could have sworn you saw NXT because Ava made me.
I've never heard these in my life.
I was gonna say, because I was like, OTM is coming back to action next week.
Are they in an open tag team match? Are they calling out someone?
No, Ava put the match in for next week. It's gonna be OTM against two of the guys from two of Chase's boys. I don't know who their names are, but
no, I don't know who that is. Who is this Chase y'all speaking of? I don't know who this is.
Chase Matthews.
Is he in LFG? Is he getting moved up or something? Does he have a tag team partner that he's with?
He's from Chase U. You know Chase U?
I never heard of that. Never heard of Chase U. What is that? Aminadu said, I'm not familiar with this. Not familiar with this Chase U.
Oh,
I think we should just move on. This sounds like rumors. Sounds like some rumors, something that they've made up. But if OTM is coming back, congratulations. But I've never heard of this Chase U before that you speak of. Is that a new gym that TK is visiting that she goes to? Because I know she's on the G train, so you gotta chase a train. So is that like a new workout that she's doing? When did this segment come on? I don't remember that happening at all.
I remember seeing OTM. They did a promo. I didn't see Ava. I still have like 30 minutes left to think. But I
refuse to talk about these people. That's why I refuse to talk about them.
Well, somebody that we can talk about wearing a bow tie and looking phenomenal today. The mayor is in the building.
I got time today.
Wait a minute, who you starting on tonight?
Nobody. No stunts. Just had some work to do today. I got a little bit of time, so I figure I'd hop on.
See, it's the dress shirt for me. That's what it feels like. The suit jacket missing. That's it. The suit jacket came off to shoot this.
Yeah. Jacket's in the car. We don't need the jacket no more. That was this morning.
Gotcha.
But what did I miss? I did pop in here. You guys talking about some relationship allegations that are swirling Twitter, and I like the councilman would love to know if it's real. I'm going to say in the world of it's just speculation. I would love to know how Miles shot his shot. I just want to hear what was said. How it was done.
How did this conversation go?
Yeah.
Like, how was the meetup? Like, what was the introduction?
Yeah.
I'm just so curious.
I feel like NXT, or just in general, when athletes come together, I don't think you really need, like, you have the Olympics. People are not. Some people
it's Olympic Village.
Exactly. There are people who don't speak English in a whole relationships or situationships or for the moment ships. So
what?
I feel like for the moment it ships. Like we're in the Olympics. I'm here for 2 weeks. You're here for 2 weeks. I'll see you in 4 years.
Yeah, but they can hear.
The Paralympics is just as bad.
I've never heard of for the moment ships.
Never.
I praise God, so I don't know what that means.
At the Olympics, they hand out in the athletes' bags condoms because it's just
They do that in high school too. That don't make it a for the moment ship.
oh they didn't do that in my high school.
And why you putting this as they for the moment right now?
Like I'm not saying there for the moment. I'm just saying NXT and WWE is filled with a bunch of hot looking people. So how would they not be, regardless if her English is not the greatest and he can't hear and he's partially can't hear, they'll figure it out. It's hot people dating hot people.
I would still like to be in the room of like, what did you say to her that was like, yeah, run this?
Nothing that's going through my mind I can say on this live right now. Nothing.
Not without getting us canceled. You fucking right. But that was my only curiosity about everything. I didn't care as much of anything like how these IWC people tripping. That was really my only question. Just
like how did two people meet? I get NXT as like a melting pot for relationships. I get that. Like if anything, it's letting me know I need to be an NXT superstar. That's what I've learned in this whole ordeal. But
should have took it as go get an NXT.
Yeah.
But hopefully they'll walk us through this. Like how does this happen? Like, did you ask her to dinner? I'm not gonna do what I was about to do. You know what? Let's move on. I feel like I'm gonna get us.
This is interesting. So TNA invites Donald Trump, the Canadian PM, to sit ringside at the border brawl. Do you actually think this is gonna happen? Because I don't. And we'll start with Courtney as far as PR.
I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet because I don't want us to get canceled. I don't think it's going to happen. Now, for publicity, they could do it, but that would be a recipe for disaster. But I'm just going to leave it at that. I just don't want us canceled.
I'm going to also try to keep it short since we have a relationship with TNA, but I will say it like this. If he didn't come to WrestleMania, y'all could fill in the rest. If he didn't come to WrestleMania.
Cedric?
I'm trying to think of why. There's no backstory behind it. It's just like an open invite. Like, hey, we want to welcome this person to a show. Because the only thing I can think of is the fact that there's the TKO partnership and he's always at UFC events.
It's taking place on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls, which is Niagara Falls in New York. So it's the border brawl, and technically there is a little bit of issues happening with the Prime Minister and the President. So maybe
they're trying to use their platform as a meeting ground.
Will squash it, yeah.
Wrestling solves a lot of things. I don't know if it's going to solve the tariffs now. I don't think we're gonna get that far. But I mean, everything's wrestling. So if you want to make an angle out of it, why not? I think it's good for aggregation and getting people to discuss the possibilities. But if we holding out for a match, that's probably not gonna happen.
It'd be interesting. I think the Prime Minister, if he has time, I actually think he might actually show up. But
it should. You know what? Unless it's gonna be Moose versus Mike Santana at the border brawl with Trump there. Because if you're gonna go all out. Go all out. Get you a Canadian and a Hispanic in there while he's there. And let's just see what's gonna happen. What? It's total nonstop action. I'm writing gold right now. I'm writing gold. If this happened, y'all know where it came from. And TK, you know them people, so you better make a call if that happens.
Cut the check.
Cut the check. Like, it writes itself.
Boss lady, you're on mute.
Sorry, my dog is just so
Hey, can you ask Beulah if she got my text message? What's with that look? Just how you gotta do is ask her.
it is the first time that WWE, TNA, and AAA talent will officially perform on the same major show. This is according to SI Wrestling, Sports Illustrated Wrestling, which is, I mean,
is that for World Collide? Is what they're referring to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like, yes, it's a big deal, but given the fact that, you know, WWE just acquired AAA and then WWE and TNA are, you know, in bed together, it's like, it's a big thing, but I think it was bigger when, I think it was like Mickey James and did Jordan show up? Jordan showed up before the whole deal happened, when like it was a forbidden door and they weren't, like, I don't know, TNA is not sold, but they were a separate entity. Now it really seems like WWE and TNA are merging together, and like I said, AAA is bought by WWE now, so it's a big thing, yes, but it kind of loses to me its luster because they're not like truly like independent.
But there's the lingering thoughts that, because for the most part, TNA has been like rivaling an NXT type thing. Now with the AAA in the fold, you want to highlight a lot of your Mexican talent and Latin talent. I feel like there's a heightened thought that the main roster talent can mix up with TNA now. Hence, people like Zelina Vega wanted to defend her title on that same card. I think that's the possibility that lies here that didn't exist before.
Yeah, I think the same thing we've talked about with NXT, even having evolved. It's no longer the development brand,
right?
Like, it is a third brand, and now having AAA and TNA, that just strengthens that even more. So to Mayor's point, it makes folks on the main roster, especially those that don't get TV time or don't get as much TV time, to come down there and be able to say like, hey, these titles now hold even more weight. And then even the exchange of it, because like a Zelina Vega coming down to defend it, let's say someone comes and becomes AAA champion. Like, let's say, for instance, Ray gives us one more run as AAA champion, and you see him rocking that belt on Monday Night Raw. We know a lot of folks that don't necessarily check into NXT as much. That just helps you draw those eyes over there to know, like, oh, there's a lot of stuff going on over here.
And what if you have Dirty Dom go over there and get a belt?
Listen. If you're trying to sell tickets, you trying to sell out the stadiums, Courtney, right now. That's what you trying to do. You trying to crash internet sites.
I mean, hey, why not? Bring Dirty Dom.
Look,
they're gonna put on a really good show, man. Like, that's gonna be such a good show.
Yeah, I think so too.
And you know what? Now that I think about it, because that's gonna be at the Forum, right?
The Kia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know they was rumoring like Big Grande versus Penta on that show, and I was like, you got to do that on US soil. Don't you do that over there? Grande might not come back. You know.
Wait a minute. In LA, what you? We in America when this happens.
No, I know, but I'm saying if the show was in Mexico with the Big Grande, like, I like Big Grande, but don't get that man hurt.
Only the mask gonna come back. That's it. But like, you notice, El Grande Americano and Chad Gable is not here. It's very curious that both of them are not here anymore.
Well, I agree. I just, again, it just is one of those things where it's not, is it truly a forbidden door if WWE has these companies in their pockets? I guess it doesn't matter as long as people are able to wrestle and people are getting paid. But it kind of, like I said, and like what I'm worried about is eventually WWE's collecting all these things, and there's ebbs and flows for everything. Wrestling is really hot right now, and there's going to come a point where it's not going to be hot as far as money wise. There's going to be fans, but money wise, it's not going to be hot. Then what? So those are the things that I'm kind of like, you know, more worried about. Obviously not my problem, but it's just kind of like, all right.
One thing to your point though is really just how you choose to set it up as well too. Like if they're deciding that they're gonna put everything under the strict rule of how WWT goes, then yeah, you said you have room to worry. But let's say for instance, it's like, okay, we've bought this and we're gonna let y'all do y'all thing. We just backing y'all. That's it. As long as y'all kind of, like don't got too many parameters of what we're trying to achieve, and it helps us open like the market to the Latino community, then it's all like one of those things of like now seeing how it makes sense. The same thing we talked about when they did partner with TNA. It's like, okay, will y'all make it make sense, or will we have another issue like how TNA had with AEW? Right. It's still here. Not saying that it's being like, it's like, oh yeah, they didn't got it down pat. They still working their bugs out, but we're seeing the benefits of this partnership. And I think too, now we're seeing with something like a AAA of like, okay, how will y'all go about that now that y'all purchased it? Do you let them keep doing their thing and grow even bigger now because they have a backing? And if so, now seeing what that looks like as they start to acquire more. Because if you're just putting yourself as the owner and just still letting them run it the way they run it, then you got yourself a good equation to open yourself up to everybody in the world.
Right. Well, we'll see what those papers look like. Courtney, do you want to take it away with some AEW news, specifically them bringing their residents to Chicago?
Yes. So, first is Philadelphia. Now it's Chicago. As reported by the Chicago Sun-Times, AEW is bringing a residency to Chicago from July 16th to July 31st. AEW is coming to the Aragon Ballroom for Dynamite and Collision, and tickets are starting to go on sale May 9th. That will include a limited number of 6-day packages. And as we mentioned, this is the second one that they're doing a residency. Of course, we know about the one in Philadelphia that's happening later in the summer, but this is also in Chicago as well. And just want to get your thoughts on this second residency in Chicago.
Can I throw one thought out before that?
Yes.
TK, what underground deals are you making with people?
Underground deals with Chicago?
What did you do in the last 3 days to this business? There's 1,000 people in here right now.
Why did I have to do underground deals?
Well, TK, you silk presses don't just pay for themselves legally. And them hairstyles you be rocking don't pay for themselves illegally. Yeah. Right now it's 994. I'm like, yo, what you press?
So here's the thing. I can't see any of this because I'm on my phone. So that's
maybe it says bow tie.
Here we go.
It might be.
There we go.
Listen.
So y'all want me to log off and see if it changed?
Let's not test it. Let us relish it. Let's relish it. No, let's not do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Soraya's interview dropped today, but yeah.
Let me find out WWE bought this and she didn't tell us.
Wow.
Talking all this crap and then get off. By the way, WWE bought WWT for undisclosed amount.
Oh my goodness.
Just know everybody in the chat for your viewership, whether you comment or don't comment, TK is giving out free body butter to you all as a thank you for tuning into the show.
Yeah, that's a good laugh, Courtney. Trying to bankrupt my business.
Bankrupt? That's marketing.
Free body butter.
As we talk about it though. If you go to Center In right now, you can get yourself 10% off of an unbelievable price. All the body butters out here. Get your woman a candle. You can't afford to take her to Spain. That's cool. Get her some Port of Spain body butter so she feel like she there. All right. Even get her to light a candle so she feel like she is on the Mediterranean and learns how to speak Spanish. This is probably how Miles Bourne got Stephanie Vaquer.
That's quiet as kept. Quiet as kept.
Yeah, with some of that Port of Spain, and she was like, "Hola."
Yo, like,
You use code MAYOR at checkout for a special 30% off of your body butter. Oh,
And more importantly,
my gift to y'all.
like this video. Even if you're not gonna comment, hit the like button on the YouTube video
that part.
or wherever you are. Hit the like.
That part.
Oh,
Some
man.
more AEW news was for Strickland. Courtney, you want to talk about his new shoe deal?
Yeah, this actually is pretty cool because Swerve actually just dropped this collaboration with Reebok, Answer 3. Reebok announced Swerve Strickland will have a colorway of Allen Iverson's Reebok Answer 3 shoes. The shoe is designed around Swerve's Killmonger gear that he wore at AEW Dynasty. I thought he looked like Static Shock in that outfit, but the shoes will be released on May 28th, and the starting retail price would be. I just saw the price. 160.
160.
Yeah,
It's not
160.
bad.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
It's not bad for some Ivos. It's not bad.
And it's actually the second shoe collab AEW did because, last year they did it with the Young Bucks for Reebok. And this time Swerve gets a shoe collaboration.
That's smart.
It's a good thing for Reebok to leverage the wrestling market like that.
Yeah. Especially like with Adidas having like the music and hip hop scene down. Reebok is smart for moving that into a different form of sports. And like Nike, of course, run the majority of it. I think that's dope. And I think that's cool to have for Swerve, man. I'm just glad to see Swerve no matter what.
Same.
I wonder what the numbers. I wonder what the shoe numbers look like. Obviously, compared to wrestling versus NBA, like what those numbers look like how much they're selling. Especially with yes, Swerve is on top with AEW, and there are a lot of people obviously who are feeling AEW when they go to these live shows. But what does this look like worldwide on a big scale? Like, how many shoes is Swerve selling compared to Roman Reigns? As far as wrestling fans are concerned and all this other stuff.
I don't think them Jordans ever released, did they?
No.
No custom.
Roman got a Jordan deal, but I don't think they ever retailed. Maybe there's plans to.
Here's the thing, though. If he retailed it, do you think he would sell out? Versus, I don't know. I just want.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, what do you count as sell out? Because the thing is, like, the market is different. So, like, with these shoes, you don't really try to go for how many big numbers you can do. It's really the exclusivity of it. So it's like,
you might make like 500 pairs or something like that.
Yeah,
and then then resellers are gonna do what they do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then it should be more. I don't know.
And
the price point seems so low with the shoe too.
Yeah, and I think with Swerve,
I wish a wrestling fan would come around a show with some limited edition Romans on and think he's not gonna come up out them.
Hey, player, that look like about my size right there, man. Let me check them out.
And I think with this deal with Swerve, this could be an opportunity for him because he knows people within the hip hop industry that can do a possible collab. So that's also an added bonus.
Yeah. So it's really just like to the marketing standpoint and just what the campaign entails. So like to Mayor's point, if you make 500 and they're like, oh, these sold out and like 30 to 45 minutes, and now the resale value is now shooting for $500 to $700.
Mm-hmm.
That makes them want to continue to like put out more with them. So I've noticed that it's no longer about like, oh, we're trying to sell like 1,000 pairs. We're trying to sell 2,000 pairs. It's like, no, like how giddy do these people get at really trying to get them on time? Like when we drop the link for you to buy them, will you grab them like that?
Hate that.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
I hate it. Yes. Because I know everybody don't wear size 14. So why is my shoe not there?
Courtney, last bit of AEW stuff, AEW preview for tonight for our watch along.
Yeah, we have Dynamite tonight, and this one, I need slides for this because we're pretty much surfing into beach break in the Windy City in Chicago, Illinois. Top of the hour with yours truly for the watch along. We have, of course, the main event, steel cage match. Samoa Joe taking on Jon Moxley. I still think he looks like Peter Griffin's long lost brother. I stand by that because he looks like him. So, but yeah, I can imagine a lot of chaos and mayhem in that match between these two. We're also going to have tag team action for the first time ever. Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page right before their anticipated match. They will be teaming up with members of the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita and Josh Alexander. And we're pretty much going to see that creep Don Callis at ringside, which I don't really care much about him, but that's fine too. We're also going to have another Eliminator match. My client, the reigning AEW Women's Champion, Mina Shirokana, her first match since her injury, Sky Blue, the hometown girl, and the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, AZM. If you did watch New Japan Resurgence, well, you kind of knew what happened. I smell a lot of chaos and mayhem going into this match, but it is still going to be a match with the ladies. We're also, and ladies and gentlemen, you're not seeing a ghost because Zach Gowen, you know who Zach Gowen is. He was on Collision this past weekend, and he'll be going one-on-one with Ricochet. It is not a ghost. They will be going one-on-one. And we're also going to hear from the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Hurt Syndicate's Bobby Lashley, and he's going to give his answer to MJF regarding if he's joining or not. Again, you can hang on the top of the hour with me for the watch along, and it will be on TBS tonight at 8 p.m. while simulcast on Max. And just wanted to get everybody's thoughts on what match are you looking forward to see on Dynamite?
Oh my gosh, I want to know, is MJF are they gonna say yes to MJF?
I hope they Owen Hart this thing so much.
Oh my god.
I what's the benefit in having a MJF join? I guess
the only reason he wants to join is because he needs somebody to take down the Death Riders. He can't do Moxley on his own.
Come on now. What
do you mean? Come on.
That him and the Hurt Syndicate mean he can finally go to Port of Spain to get him to happen, okay? Because they're not gonna let MJF be ashy when he in the ring. He gonna finally be able to get access to this. He couldn't just ask you up top because you're gonna be like, what you gonna do with it? And then embarrass him, and then he ain't gonna want to buy nothing. This right here, this is what he get access to. And I'm gonna just ask the question for those that don't watch. Now I heard that Zach Gowen name.
Yep.
Now correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that the dude that was missing the leg that Brock beat up in front of his mama?
Yes, that's him.
All I'm letting y'all know is this. If he can come back and Miles Bourne can get with Stephanie McCurry, you can make it to NXT. Dream big. Just dream big. And you can do whatever you want to achieve. TK did it, and now she's passing out Port of Spain body butters to everybody. Everybody. And Candace. Because she believes. I hope Samoa Joe chokes out Jon Moxley and finally takes that stupid briefcase, and we get to see the AEW title again. I don't trust nobody with a V-neck at all. But I am very excited, like Maria says, I'm excited for Dynamite tonight.
Said?
The MJF storyline is the one thing I've been following pretty closely. I think that's what I'll look out for the most. I think he'll probably get in. He won't be the first non-melanated person in the Hurt Syndicate business, if you guys know your history from the pandemic. But as far as the women's match goes, I hope they all lose, because there's going to be hell to pay. It's going to be hell to pay. The match won't finish. We staking our claim for Toni Storm tonight. And AZM, Azumi, whatever you want to call it. It's 3 letters. She don't deserve that title. I'm just going to call it like it is. You messing up a good run. And Hiroshi, I'm call you by your first name. You got to see me. You got to see me, because we messing up the bag. We messing up the bread. But we're going to get ours real soon.
She's still undefeated. She is still undefeated.
I mean,
the luggage is lighter. The luggage is lighter.
Yeah.
Southwest don't do free bags no more.
She did lose that title, didn't she?
She did lose it,
They
but
ain't
she
shit.
didn't get pinned.
They
This
ain't
is
shit.
the blackest podcast ever. This man literally is scooping into body butter.
So I don't want to be ashy on camera.
I mean, I love it. I'm just saying, this is like.
First off, ma'am, you ain't silent your phone. Your internet went off.
I'm
You
just
gotta-
saying.
You got a mute for your dog. So if anybody winning the Black Award tonight, I'm definitely no. I'm one.
You're aiding in it. I mean, you know, it is.
I can't get on TK because my smoke alarm used to go off all the time
We weren't gonna say that.
during the early stages of my time here.
It sounded like it's back. It sounded like it came back.
That's not what that is. That's not what that is.
That's not what that is.
That's something else.
Mm-hmm. So it's something else. I think that's it. So if there's anything else anybody else wants to talk about before we get out of here.
I would like to spend the next 20 minutes talking about if you do not have the Port of Spain body. But look at these hands. Look at these hands. Before I was using Jergens and cocoa butter. And don't ask me what I was using my Jergens for. Don't be that person. But my skin would not take in no moisture. Now I had a body butters. Look at this. I could be a hand model. All right, look, watch. Just I don't even need my face no more. I learned this from Vanna White, by the way. Also, I do have a question before we go. Something that also is in the IWC. Does Jey Uso feel like the world heavyweight champion to y'all yet?
I don't know. I feel like I have a returning question, and the way, depending on your answer, is because this is how I'd feel. Do you feel like New Day or the New Day, them as heels, is it believable?
Yes.
They started off as heels and obnoxious. The only thing missing is Big E shenanigans, and we know why, but them being obnoxious and berating people was probably their best run.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. If anything, I wish they let him turn it up. Because when Xavier was cussing out his family, that was hilarious.
He said something on Raw. It was so funny. I think he said if he dies, he dies, and I was like, oh my god. It was. I don't know. I think maybe because I know him, and I'm also sarcastic. It's like, okay. So then that really took out that's not the answer I really wanted, but I like. I thought y'all were gonna say something different.
You messed up your flow.
messed up the flow. So we're gonna
had a whole rebuttal for that we couldn't get to.
No, I like him as a champ. I think I don't know. Like I know what you're asking, and it doesn't. It feels like that, but it doesn't at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
I don't think it's the title that's like it's not that he's not the champion. We're just waiting for the correct opposition. And to me, the Logan Paul thing is a blip, but going directly back to Gunther Park, whatever this is, right after that, bad idea. Complete bad idea. You could have gave him Braun Breaker and a number of other superstars to actually build towards Gunther again, because now you do a disservice to both superstars if it gets to that on that June 9th Monday Night Raw, which I'll just say what I feel right now. I think I said it on the Watch Along Monday night. I'm pretty sure somebody's getting cashed in on that Monday in Phoenix in a month. Take your pick. Otherwise, it's going to be a triple threat match with whoever wins the briefcase that Saturday.
I can see it. Courtney, your thoughts?
I have nothing against Jay being champ, but going back to Seth's point, it's just credible challengers. Because I get when he did with Seth, that made a lot of sense. But it's like you're taking him all the way back to Gunther and Logan Paul on Saturday night's main event. Nothing against Logan Paul. I mean, that's fine, but it's like it's really hard because he could have had it with like Braun Breaker, and people were kind of itching that Sami Zayn was going to do a heel turn towards Jay, which actually that would be very interesting turn. So it's just pretty much finding a list of credible challengers on the Raw brand, like who would be able to challenge Jay since he's one of like the biggest baby faces on that roster. It's just like with Gunther, I was like, ugh, we're going back to this circle again. Okay.
So here's where I found out where Jay has ran into a problem. Well, at least creative wise, they've ran into a problem. I don't think Jay is a champ just yet, but that's a good thing because it tells a way better story of a dude that's gonna grow into a champion. The only problem is because we're sitting there, you have to have him have big challengers, and you don't have a lot of those on Raw. Mm-hmm. And the ones you do have on Raw cannot take L's right now. Seth cannot take an L right now. Gunther really cannot take an L right now. And Jay isn't at the point in his championship where he could take on an El Grande Americano, or where we jettison them to take on a Penta and it adds to something just yet. We're close, though. We're very close, but it has to be some very like critical points of what come in. It's like you can send Finn out there to say, "Hey, I challenge," but we've seen Finn lose so much. It's like we know you're not winning. We know you're not going to win. And so I feel like that's the shakiness that he's in. But every Monday that I see him, I'm like, you look more and more like a champ when you come in here. You are definitely growing into that. Like that title is turning you into a champion. And I love seeing that story rather than a person that we know is a champion and has to hold it like a Cody Rhodes. Mm-hmm. Like to see Jay make the mistakes, to see Jay got to grow from those mistakes, to see him like that match he had with Seth Rollins. It was like, I thought that spiritual pedigree, I thought that was it. Mm-hmm. I thought that was done. The curve start and he kicked out. It's like, you're getting closer, my boy. You're getting closer. You about to hit Super Saiyan 2 on us. I see it coming. I see it happening, man. I'm behind him, though. 4 letters. 1 word. And then any thoughts on Raw's main event? Because obviously no one congratulated my client being the youngest wrestler to main event Monday Night Raw. And shall I say, did it even better than Trish and Lita. If that's just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? We have not seen a main event like that in years, decades even, and no one brought it up. Y'all are forgiven. I accept your apologies. Outside of the mayor, because he wasn't here, but you two that wrote it, you are forgiven. Thoughts?
I mean, they had a good I mean, Roxanne is I mean, I think Booker T speaks more for Roxanne, but Roxanne is Roxanne. I feel like she's on her way to doing amazing things. Even when she cut the promo and say like they're up next, they're the next to watch. like, I think it was a good showing, and I think I said this on, what day is today? Wednesday, maybe Friday or Monday. I really like how they are introducing Roxanne to the main roster. It's a really nice paced progression versus just dropping somebody from NXT onto Raw or SmackDown's like, here y'all go. You guys have to like them because they were part of another brand that you probably didn't watch, but still like them anyway. I really like how they're transitioning her. So congratulations to your client.
I appreciate that. We've worked hard on this. We've really worked hard on getting her to this point. Courtney, your thoughts?
I will say Roxy and Julia had a good match. And the fact that Roxanne's only 23, that says a lot. That really does says a lot. And I did like the promo that her and Julia did right before their big tag team match, along with Io. That actually did put a lot of build up in, because I love it when women's wrestling is main eventing. Doesn't matter if it's Raw or SmackDown or Dynamite. It's always a good thing when the ladies main event, and it was a really good match. And it was like Io and Roxanne, and even when Io was facing off against Julia, there was just so much chaos and mayhem that I really did love it. And I was happy Rio and Rhea got the win. But congratulations to Roxanne. But the ending felt really weird on Raw. But it was a good match. Congratulations to Roxanne having her main event match on Monday night. We'll be seeing a lot of her in the coming weeks, and I'm sure she's going to be in that title picture with Io.
It's always great when your hard work pays off, and, you know, planting them seeds like we've done to watch it grow. Just, if I remembered how to cry, I'd cry right now, because it's, you know.
You remembered how to cry. Okay.
I had cried since I was 16, okay? I cried because something happened. I looked in the mirror and saw I was an ugly crier, and I was like, I don't have time for this shit. And just kind of sopped the rest of that up. So when things happen, you just ponder and keep moving. I didn't like the way I looked when I cried. It is not a good look. Not a good look. Cedric, your thoughts on the tag team main event? Boza, she's actually not. If you do it on Google, she is actually confirmed to be on the main roster.
Good match, wrong ending. I like how Roxanne worked opposite of both Rhea and Io, telling good storylines there. I thought they did good with Julia's presentation, dating back all the way to her entrance, but just wrong ending. And if you guys been following along, apparently the duo that's only been together for a brief few short weeks is already split. Doesn't make sense to me. And like I said at the beginning of the whole pairing, I said it kind of does a disservice to Roxanne to have Julia piggyback. But now that it's not even going to be a long-term thing, what do we do it for? And why did they take that L when they called their shot at the beginning of the show?
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, I also didn't like that Io came out first before Rhea. Didn't like that either. But I don't know, man. At some point, Rhea got to start. I don't want to say she got to start putting over other talent, but it's like you can take an L in a tag match and be fine.
Yeah. And I don't even think that's her. I really just believe, like, creative, I get it. She's a moneymaker. She brings in tickets. Why can't she do that not around the title picture? Why? Why does everybody have to fall to people in order for y'all to keep having her come out? Like, she could easily do something not centered around the title. And I said this with even like Liv's run. I do not want to see a EO World Championship reign centered around Rhea Ripley. Because that's what we said. That's what we had Liv. This was Rhea. This is Liv. And Liv's the champion. I don't want to see that with EO. So I was like, when I saw them kind of, you know, seemed like they were cool, seemed like they were okay, like, you know, that heat then died down from her beating her in WrestleMania. I'm just like, I really hope this is it. And then you go to the back of the line and then get back to where you are. Because if I see you have to have 6 more matches with EO because y'all just keep wanting to push her out, I'm going to crash out. I'm gonna say some stuff that's gonna have TK tell me to take a break for a week. Be like, come back in 2 weeks. Because that ending was not all that build up for what? This is where they should have got the win and been able to go run off with their celebration. Like both, come on now. And that didn't help Julia at all. Like, why? Maybe you can explain it to us, TK. Like, dollar-wise, if you in the back of the creative room, like, what was the purpose of all of that if that's what it led to?
I don't know. I often wonder, and this is where maybe this NXT show will kind of show face as far as what happens in the writer's room. I often wonder in this particular scenario where, where Raw is, where Netflix is TKO, Endeavor, who there's definitely a shift. Like there's a shift in graphics. There's a shift in the long and short storytelling. So I can't call it as far as the decision making that happened on Monday, but I feel like there is a game plan. It just depends on who they're catering to. And it seems that they're catering way more to the mainstream media as far as, is this going to result in deals for something, or is somebody else going to be up for a movie? Or I don't know. This particular question that you have, I can't call it. I feel like something's coming down the pipes though.
Okay. That's all I had.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'll let Courtney take it away so she can get her show in 30 minutes. So where can everybody find you, Courtney?
Oh, the people can find me here at the top of the hour. You can hang out with me for Timeless Elite Wednesdays because we're going to surf into beach break from Chicago, Illinois. But you also get a double treat because not only you have AEW Dynamite, if you're a football fan, NFL schedule comes out tonight. So it will be a double duty for me tonight, and looking forward to seeing who the Dolphins are going to play this upcoming season. But they can follow me on there. They can also follow me on my socials on @CourtneyNJ11 on Twitter and Instagram. There is content out. I have content up from 90s Wrestling Con that still has to be uploaded. So that's TBD. Also, there is content that was from Queen of the Ring, where we had countless interviews with Jazz, Deonna Purrazzo, Trish, Lita, Julia Hart, already up on the YouTube channel. So feel free to check it out. And lots of stuff happening in the coming weeks.
And Will, where can we find you?
Well, you can always find me at the Port of Spain, just doing what I do in a boat, chilling, making sure that I light a candle for all the people in the IWC out here. For anybody that may be needing some uplifting vibes and energies here. Yeah, that's where you can always find me at. Always centered in, okay?
Do you know that's a massage candle?
I'm not pouring hot wax on nobody. I'm not going to jail because of you, okay? That is a crime.
It's not hot wax because it's coconut water, cocoa butter, and coconut wax. It's actually, it burns at a lower temperature, so it doesn't burn your skin. Just FYI.
Somehow I feel like I'm gonna still mess that up. Like just knowing myself, somehow I'm gonna heat this thing to where it ain't that, and I mess it up.
It's impossible to do that, but it's okay. Said, where can everybody find you?
I know there's a lot of people here that are probably new to this platform, but let me welcome you to something that I do all the time. I don't want your follows. I don't want to be found. If you heard me earlier, you send me Hiroshi. I just want to talk. I just want to talk to Hiroshi.
Leave Tanahashi alone.
And in regards to the scheduling release later, those Miami Dolphins will be getting smacked in NFL's first ever game in Madrid later this year by my Washington Commanders. You are welcome. But that is all I got.
Did she pin Mercedes?
No.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Shirakawa.
I see why you want to talk to her. Nah, you didn't pin the champ and you got the belt? Nah,
yeah. Me and Hiroshi got to talk.
Nah, that's not how you the champ should lose.
Oh yeah, you weren't here on Monday's show. Did you want to talk about your New Japan Pro Wrestling experience?
I'll save it for Friday. There's a lot there. I got to talk about that, but I'll save it for Friday.
Okay.
Just send me a road feed. That's all I want. That's all. Not my ace.
All right. Well, with that being said, thank you all new people for joining us. Come back again. We're here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. We also have our, like Courtney said, we have our show, our Dynamite watch along and post show happening in less than 30 minutes. Also, we have our SmackDown post show and watch along happening on Friday. And if you want some more watch time, you can watch our NXT post show and watch along that happened yesterday, as well as our Raw post show. And we have a delightful interview with Soraya that dropped today. She's so funny. We talked about dogs, and she liked the fact that I asked her about her dog. So clear on that. But definitely check out that interview. And we also have an interview with Red Velvet, the current ROH TV champion, up there as well. So a lot of interviews to check out, a lot of great stuff to check out. And make sure you like, subscribe, all the things on all the platforms. I really appreciate that. You can follow me. Yes.
No. Just before you do the end part, I did have one more thing I had to throw out.
Sure. Hit it.
Just make sure y'all come back at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 on the East Coast. We're having a special edition of the Kayfabe podcast today. We won't be able to do it this weekend. Don't ask why we're not doing it this weekend, but if you are a fan of the Kayfabe podcast, me, Dion, and Honey will be on right after the greatest thing AEW has ever done, and that is having Courtney Rice do the watch along. Right after that, go to the bathroom, refill that water, and come watch the Kayfabe podcast live.
There it is. Well, like I said, content on content on content. So make sure you check out all of that stuff. And we're trying to figure out when we can do an after show, a WWT live after show, or we might do a WWT after dark. If you guys remember our original one, what was that, like a year or two ago? We might premiere that again in the next coming weeks. So it's definitely keep it locked for that. And also, which I didn't have time to do, but we also have a live event that's happening June 6th in Hollywood. So the flyer will go out on social media tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. You can purchase tickets. You can get food. We have a big project that we're dropping, so that we'd love you guys to support and all that, all that stuff. With that being said, you can follow me in everywhere at TK Trinidad. And thank you guys for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WWTalkpod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.